Okay, so this video is to show you how to segue from one scale or one group of chords to another group of chords. That's the simple form of it. So we're taking C major and we're going to try to get to G major. How can we switch the chords and make it sound proper, make it sound good, instead of it just, sounding kind of like, well, the other way it sounds like trash. I don't know how to say it any other way. Anyway, so what Scalar does is under the mod on the iPad, just so you can see this, because the only reason I can't do it on the iPad right now to show you is because I have the iPad mini and you'll see it cuts the piano off, so you won't be able to see it. So here's mod right there. You see it? MOD. Find that on your iPad and you'll be on the right page. All right. When you get to the page, you'll see secondary scale. Pick the secondary scale. In this case, we're going to use G for an example. So pick G, and what it's going to do is it's going to formulate this area, which is your third area, and it's going to give you a suggested pathway to get there. And all of this is to set up patterns to get you to be able to transition and have different parts in a song, right? So that your song doesn't play just the same 4 chords all the way through all the time. You can use different things to help create changes and switch ups. All right, we're not going to play every chord in here. We're only going to pick 4 chords to make it simple. I went ahead and picked those 4, which are down here. But for right now, so you can select those chords, what your bridge is going to be, pattern 1, which is already set, is going to be the main pattern. I need a pattern 2, so I'm going to click pattern 2 down here. It's a little plus, and create a pattern 2 that's blank. That's going to be the pathway to get to pattern 3, which is going to be the designated area that we're trying to get to, which is G major. Okay. So once again, this blinking light is 1, which is your main chords, or pattern 1. Pattern 2 is basically going to be your suggested modulation pathway. You'll see here it says 1 of 24. There are 24 suggestions that can get you to this area down here, which is 3, which is your goal. To switch between them, that green light represents this green up here. So you'll see on your keyboard or whatever you're using that on there it says C1, C2, and C3, which is basically all white keys, C, D, and E. But you can switch that, and we're not going to go into how to switch that because it gets, then the video will be all night me trying to do this, but I got to shorten this. But let's pick some chords. I picked 4. C major, E minor, A minor, D diminish. They sound like this, and I'll play them down up here so that I don't have to go down. So watch this. I'm playing them slow so you can hear them. Okay, so they don't sound good. They're not 7ths. I didn't play them in a rhythmic pattern, but the principle is there's the chords, right? That's what we'll use. In fact, I'm going to make this even better for you so it sounds somewhat pleasing to your ear. I'll do a 1, then I'll do a 6, then I'll do a 4. These are common chord progressions. 5. All right, there we go. So that's going to be the progression. So 1, and we'll go 6, 4, 5. And what am I counting? I'm counting the Roman numerals right here. That tells you what that chord is in that scale, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, to switch, if you wanted to do this in real time and play it into your system, my suggestion would be keep your octaves as they are close together, right? And you can play and just switch right after you play the last chord. Just hit the switch. The switch won't affect the other chord you're playing. In other words, it's not going to play a note for you and throw you off. Like, what in the world did you do that for? So I'll demonstrate it right now, the switch. And then I'm going to switch. Oh, I didn't do 4, I'm sorry. 5, switch, switch, switch back to 1. See that? So it's really simple. And here, maybe I can show you I was trying to show you this, but I'm gonna have to let me remove the camera here. So excuse me for just a second. So this video is a little weird, but so all I'm doing, I'm gonna have to zoom out so you can see it without having to. All I'm doing is playing. When I get to that note, I hit the second one, and then I play this. Hit the third. Hit the 1. So these 3 here are the ones that are triggers to trigger me to get to the next chord, next set of chords that I'm gonna use. So, I'm trying to fix this, sorry about that. That's what this is for. Now, what I would say is, if you want it to be, is put one in pattern there. Let's say you're gonna use all 4 of these. By the way, you should be able, on most of them, you can highlight the chords you want. On the iPad, I think you can. I'm not sure on here, but I'm just gonna grab them. Okay, pattern 3 is gonna be, now these are substitute secondary chords that you could actually use. I'm just gonna pull the G major. Yeah, there you go. I thought you could do it. So you can highlight, bring them down a little bit quicker. There you go. All right, so now you have them all. And you can play it in here and do the switching. And I believe, I may be wrong on this because I haven't used it as much here. Yeah, here it is. So once you build, so use this portion to build it. Here you build it right from here. Build your 3 patterns or whatever you're gonna use. Then click the pad. And now your 3 patterns are right here. See, 1, 2, 3. You could build it in here if you want. It's just a lot harder. I think the other one gives you more, the assistant. You don't have the mod to give you the secondary scale. So my thought is build it here, go back when you're ready to perform it or actually use it, and use it on pad 4. There's your green keys. So click your 1, start at 1. Then remember, right after you play the last chord, you're holding it down or whatever you're doing. It's going to require some timing. It's not like it's going to do it for you. You have to time it. But that's your option that you can really, accomplish it. The other option is you could time it and MIDI capture it. In other words, it will keep track of your time. And if you don't want to do it in the DAW or whatever you're using, you can MIDI capture your playing of it. And that works just fine. But you'll still need to switch. See what I'm saying? You'll still need to switch the chords by using these. So that's the key in this video. If you take nothing else away from it, page 5 or the mod on there, use that to find out what pathway. If you want a different pathway, click this one and keep clicking till you go through the 24. Every chord progression is going to change. Now, if you see a chord that's grayed out like this, that means tonally it fits, but it's actually not a part of that. It's not one of the chords within the actual scale. So tonally it fits. It means it appeases to the ear, it sounds good, and it seems like it can fit that progression pretty well. So just remember that when you're selecting. Blue means it's in the progression. Gray means it tonally fits. And I don't know how to explain tonally to somebody. I'm not that good, but it sounds good. That's the easiest way I can think to say it. It just sounds good to you. It sounds like it belongs. So you'll see some of the ones in here tonally fit, but they're not a part of the scale, but we're using them in there. And you don't have to use all these chords. You can, if you want to remove a chord, just right click on it and then go down to, and you see here, you got substitutions. So you can sub out a part, extract voices, and here you go, look, remove. So let's say you don't want to use some of these chords, just right click and remove them. That's easy, right? On the iPad, to remove, I'm trying to remember, let me go to, hold on, let me go back to the main. I'm trying to remember on the iPad. I'm having I know you can swap and copy. That part's easy. I just haven't. Well, I can't help you with that right now because my brain can't remember how to do it, which is crazy. I'm also on this smaller iPad, so I may have to get like a pencil or something. Let me see if I can do it. I wanted to show you this. Well, I will have to address that in the comments. I don't want to spend any more time trying to fight that to figure it out. But yeah, on here with a mouse is, to me, I find it easier to remove them. And I know it's something simple on the iPad, and I've done it, but I just don't remember it right now for some reason. It's not clicking in my brain. So yeah, there you go. Utilize this arrangement to make your songs better, I guess is the proper word for it. I still suggest, like in the last video, to use the humanize feature, at least the velocity, so that the chords don't sound so bland. It gives them a little realness to them, unless you want to sit there and manually do it, and that's really up to the person. And I showed you all the stuff on performance, so figure out what works for you tonally, or best for your ears. Make those changes, but utilize the mod page and the pad page to get your various patterns. So basically you can write a chorus. And by the way, if you right click on the pattern, again, can't say I know this for a fact on the iPad, you can remove the whole pattern if you want to. So if you have a mouse for your iPad, that might be easier for you to figure out how to do it with a mouse. But I don't, again, I have to think about how I do to remove them. Again, I can't remember. So there you have it. And hopefully this video will help you be able to grow and add more to your music arrangements. And that's about it. All right.